Amidst dense vegetation are hidden worlds with complex creatures, hidden artifacts and civilizations just waiting to be discovered. Every year interesting archaeological discoveries are made. Some of the most interesting ones though are those that are found by accident. This is exactly what happened when one woman was hiking through a forest in Italy. She said the following: "I found this accidentally on one of my hikes, a huge carved stone face. Plants have grown over it, but it was very obvious that it was a face. Not the normal tufa stone you find around here, much more solid. This thing was huge. No signs around about things to see in that forest. It wasn't visible from the road either. It was just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. No idea who put it there or why, but I get the feeling there are many of these kinds of things in my part of Italy, former Etruscan territory, which is megalithic culture. It was one of the strangest and magnificent things I've ever found by accident. I only found it because I have a tendency to leave trails when I feel like it. It's how I found it." End quote. One person said they wondered if this has a body like those on Easter Island, while another person said the following: "That's an exciting find. Could be Etruscan or possibly so-called Villanovan. Is there anything known about the area or any archaeological sites nearby?" She replied with the following: "Many, but only the most impressive ones get any attention. Usually they turn into a tourist attraction. Nocia Necropolis is one I visited a while back. Amazing place. Lots of Etruscan megaliths in this area, and I'm sure that a whole lot of them are not mentioned on any maps because they're too small, forgotten or undiscovered. But what mystifies me about places like Nocia is that there's no hard proof that the Etruscans built those megaliths. It's assumed they built them, but how do we know for sure? For all anyone really knows, they just found them too and decided to use them." End quote. Finishing off, she said that once she gets her camera sorted, she will be going up there to take some videos. It's an interesting find and just goes to show that huge megaliths are still lying around in random places on our planet. It's incredible to think that something of this size would be lying off a trail, untouched by humans and covered in trees, branches and moss. We are so advanced, yet it shows us that incredible discoveries are still waiting to be uncovered, and some of them are on our doorstep. This find reminded some of the large stone heads that were found in Guatemala. Found amidst the jungles of Guatemala are that of massive stone heads carved with intricate details, and facial features known as the Olmec colossal heads. These heads appear to be quite an anomaly for researchers, as not only are their massive sizes source of stone materials and methods of construction part of a huge mystery, but it also appears that not much is known about the ancient Olmec tribes that created these pieces. Additionally, researchers have found a total of 18 large stone head monuments, each one measuring to be roughly 3 meters in height, 3 meters in width and more than 40,000 pounds in weight, weighing roughly 20 tons each. The story of the stone head found in the deep jungles of Guatemala is an interesting one. Its incredible design shows a large head, a large nose and its head pointing towards the sky. Once news broke that the artifact had been discovered, people couldn't wait to find out more about it, its origins and what exactly it was depicting. Shortly after its discovery, photographs were taken during the 1950s, with the owner of the land coming forward and not giving much information away, saying that it was found somewhere deep in the jungles of Guatemala. Before more studies could be conducted by researchers that would potentially tell us who built it and what it was depicting, it was announced that it had been pulled down and destroyed by revolutionaries. Run-ins with the locals and others was an issue that the archaeologists had to face, but they said that once they reached there it had been taken down. Estimations were given and it was reported that the head when standing would have been around 4 to 6 meters. Sadly though, this is just one example where history has been lost due to the actions of humans. It's sad to think that it survived all this time, but was destroyed in the modern day by us humans. It appears that the stone heads are impossible to accurately date, and can only be measured by looking at the time in which the large stones were buried to predict the time of their creation. The accepted information from researchers is that the heads were buried during 900 BC, but could predate this time by more than several hundred years in creation. Despite the lack of scientific proof as to this age, researchers have characterized the heads as having come from the pre-classic period of the Mesoamerican chronology, dating somewhere close to 1500 to 1000 BC. When it comes to the characteristics and features of the stone megaliths, this has become an even more pressing issue for researchers, as there is no perfectly held consensus on the theories surrounding what or who the heads could have helped to represent. Given the fact that all the heads seem to possess helmets that seem to look similar to ancient protection gear, many researchers have put forward the theory that the heads are the recreations of popular ball players, and these would have been around during the pre-classic period. This has of course been met with much criticism, with some noticing that the faces are made in realistic proportions with individual characteristics, ultimately leading many researchers to believe the heads could be that of ancient rulers. Given the massive size of the stones, the fact the source material was more than 150 kilometers away, or 93.2 miles, and seemed to possess symmetrical and precision detailed work nearly impossible to recreate with primitive tools, researchers continue to study the anomalies, as the heads appear impossible to explain with conventional means and theories. So what do you make of this recent discovery that was made in Italy? And have you ever made an interesting discovery by accident? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.